Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Real Film Talk. My name is Will Braunlich, and this show covers everything, from movies to TV shows and editorials. Today, we will take a look at a sequel to a franchise that's going on much stronger than anticipated. We will take a look at Scream 6. Here is my reaction for the trailer. Grab a blanket, and let's get ready for Scream 6. Oh hey, I see Batman in the back.
You got a problem here, guy?
There he is. Well, I mean, if you go up against Ghostface, it never really ends well for you. Yep, Exhibit A. Well, I guess that's Exhibit B. Don't move. His vision is based on movement. Oh, wait, that's the wrong franchise. Don't look through there. Oh, jeez. If this movie is also characters making some pretty idiotic decisions, then well, I guess it wouldn't be a horror movie without that.
It followed me here, and it's gonna keep coming for us.
It's weird seeing Jenna Ortega in this movie. I almost forgot she was in the last one.
This isn't like any other Ghostface.
But it might be.
What is this place?
A shrine.
We've got to lure him in.
We execute him. Hello.
Let's play a game.
Let's play Truth or
You're
Dare.
like the 10th guy to try this, right? It never works out for the dipshit in the mask.
There we go, Gail.
Maybe. But there's never been one like me, Gail.
Yeah, I feel like in this in these types of movies, you should just like, you know, not answer the phone, just let it go to voicemail.
That's why I'm gonna
Or
shoot
about
you in the head.
this for Laughs and Grins, you could pretend to be somebody else. Yeah, he's completely gone. You got him.
You want me. So let's finish this.
Flashing lights.
Guys,
There he is. Oh, could be any of them. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. I like how it doesn't give a full plot. Well, I guess there's not really much of a plot to the Scream movies other than that there's a ghost face and the characters are just trying to, you know, survive, trying to figure out who it is. So they say it's not going to be like any other ghost face, which makes me wonder, like, you know, what they mean by that. Like, is this ghost face could be like supernatural or something? Is it something that could be passed on spiritually to another person? Well, I guess it is sort of passed on, like we get a new killer like each movie. I hope they do something different here. I forgot that Jenna Ortega was in the last movie before seeing Wednesday. In fact, I don't really remember much about her character in the last movie, neither with her sister. I guess I just didn't find them that interesting that much. So hopefully they make them better in this one. Yeah, I think this could be a good one. I'm really excited for this, and I will let you know what I think once I see it. Tell me something.
Do you like scary movies?
If so, that's what we'll talk about a lot on this episode. Scream 6 is directed by Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillette and stars Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega, reprising their roles as Sam and Tara Carpenter from the last Scream movie. In this new installment, Sam and Tara, along with their friends, start a new life in New York City after the events that transpired in Woodsboro. However, when a new killer donning the Ghostface mask arrives, our heroes must band together and figure out who is the latest of a long line of killers. So before we go into this movie, I think it should be fair to share my thoughts on the Scream franchise. The first movie is one of my favorite scary movies. Yes, for this movie, that's a pretty cliche thing to say. I not only like it because it's legit scary, but it also involves a mystery that I think it executed very well, while also acknowledging all the different horror movie cliches in the past. Thank you, Jamie Kennedy. The second one I thought was pretty good, despite not being as effective as the first one. The third one was all right. The writing wasn't very good, and I feel like the killer in this movie was kind of weak. I haven't seen the fourth one, perhaps I will, which brings me to the Scream movie that came out literally last year. I thought it was fine. I liked how they introduced new characters but focused a little too much on elements from the previous movies, like bringing in Neve Campbell back as Sydney, Courtney Cox as Gale, and David Arquette as Dewey. There's even a part of the story involving one of the new characters and one from a previous movie. And that pretty much drove the story for the last movie and most of this one. But we'll get to that in a minute. So this movie had some hype, as it seems like it's upping the ante first off by having it take place in New York, as well as a few other elements that won't be mentioned because it involves spoilers and while this movie is fresh. So after seeing this movie, I can safely say this is a good one. Not as good as the first movie. Yes, I'm still a stickler for the originals, but this comes very close, I think. Barrera and Ortega do a phenomenal job as two sisters trying to make the best of their new lives. One of them is dealing with something from the past, as stated before, and it drove of the plot in the last movie and most of this as they're being tested to their limit. The other wants to enjoy life and is tired of running. They want to put the past behind them when that's really easier said than done. I also like how they brought back Roger Jackson, who does the voice of Ghostface. He proves he still has what it takes to send a chill down our spines each and every time the phone rings. The other new characters were a lot of fun too, and I really was hoping they would make it out of this movie alive. We got Jasmine Savoy Brown and Mason Gooding playing brother and sister Chad and Mindy. Mindy is pretty much the new Randy in this one, where she describes what normally goes on in the scary movies, which was a huge hit in the first movie. There's no Neve Campbell as Sydney in this movie, so it looks like Sydney gets her happy ending after all, even though the real reason she's not in this movie is because there was a salary dispute between Campbell and Paramount. We get Courtney Cox back as Gale Weathers though. She doesn't do a whole lot, but it's enough to keep the plot going and keeps us invested, which I think is a step up from the last movie. The reason I say that is because they get the original cast back and they're in a majority of the film. I didn't mind it, but I preferred they focus on the new characters more. There's a term for this. I'd like to give it an unofficial name: the Force Awakens effect. I've now trademarked that phrase and now only I can use it. Back to the review. Let's now talk about probably the biggest part of the movie, and that's the mystery surrounding this new Ghostface. As stated before, they tried going big on this one, and most of the stuff they add I have to give a lot of praise for. The story is well executed, and it does sprinkle in some nostalgia by referencing the previous movies, but doesn't go overboard, trying to give us something fresh and exciting. I was very invested in these characters and whether or not they'll make it out of the movie. There's a romance between the two of the characters that I didn't think was established all that great in my opinion, but it was sweet and I did enjoy the chemistry they had. Lastly, let's talk about the actual mystery. It's a really good one, and it keeps us on our toes, and it doesn't rule anyone out. There's enough clues and twists that when it gets to the actual reveal, then it still may leave a shock. I won't lie, I was actually surprised myself. In the end, Scream 6 is probably the second best of this franchise. I think they do a better job at fleshing out the new characters while keeping the old ones more off to the sideline. The characters have some strong chemistry and tries being original rather than relying on the past properties. I think if we get more installments that are like these, then I think we're in good hands. I'm personally glad I saw this, and if you're a fan of horror movies, especially the Scream franchise, then this movie may be what you're looking for to pass about 2 hours or so. My grade for Scream 6 will be a B. Thank you all for watching this review. I hope you all enjoyed it. Until next time, this is Will Braunlich, and I will see you at the movies. Save a seat for me.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.